what I'm going to talk about now is the different ways and different levels of passive income that you can do in Splinterlands. So obviously there's enough videos on how you can earn money in Splinterlands. If you want, I can do a more detailed guide of how I can, or how you can optimize your earnings in Splinterlands. I can create that video. But for now, this is just passive income. So if you're a NFT game investor, or you're looking to invest into different NFT games, this is one that you can put into Splinterlands and then not have to play it yourself, or just literally just with minimal amounts of effort constantly check back on it and see how your investment has grown. So for those of you who don't know, passive income is ideally just once you put in the effort, you can then just go back every so often and then reap the rewards. So for the first one, and probably the easiest one, is just invest in SPS. I'm not going to tell you whether or not it's a good time to buy SPS now or not. All I'm going to say is I've been buying SPS at the moment because I think that the price is pretty good. So you can follow me, you don't have to follow me. It could go higher, it could go lower. Just looking at APR, we're looking at about a 41% at the moment. When this first started, about 100, like nearly 150 days ago, the APR was above 100%. And then slowly and slowly, as more and more people have staked, the APR has slowly decreased. But regardless, for the last year and a half, for the last 150 days, the APR has steadily been going down, but that doesn't mean it's too late to join. You could still invest in SPSS. Sorry, I said it again, I'm so sorry. Bottom line is you can buy SPS, and as long as the game survives, and as we've seen with the voucher systems, SPS will always have value and always create value for the customers. As well as that, aggro is very committed to keeping it in the game and useful. So with the equivalent of dice, and I think it's called Rift Watchers or Rift Makers, that's also going to be very SPS heavy. So if you want to get ready and early invest in that, some advice would be buy some now while it's cheap, and then when the release of Rift Watchers comes out, the demand of SPS will increase, which would then result in a price increase. So level 1 is just simply invest in SPS. You can stake it to earn an APR, or you can just be a day trader, but once again, that's not very passive income. And then the other thing is, when things like the new Chaos Legion packs come out, you can earn vouchers from the system, and then in hindsight, you can then go onto into the Hive Engine Marketplace, and then you could sell the vouchers for Hive, which then you can swap into Litecoin or BNB or BTC or Wax or Ethereum. Like, it's very fluid at the moment, but basically you can stake SPS, earn an APR, earn vouchers, sell vouchers, and that's level 1 of passive income. Your second thing to do is, if you started this game and you like this game, but eventually you just realize you don't have time, or you're not optimized or up to date with the meta, what you can do is you can build a deck and delegate that to a scholar. So Splinterlands is very nice for botters and multi-accounts and farmers, where basically we can create lots of scholars, and it's a lot more friendly and fluid compared to something like Axie, which punishes botting, I'm not saying botting's a good thing, but what's happening is, because of how harshly they punish bots, they also ban lots of accounts. Most of the accounts are doing bad things and are trying to take advantage of the system, but simple things like transferring Axies between sub-accounts, so that like a scholar can try a new Axie, but if that Axie hasn't been on a cooldown, they don't let they'll ban the account. Like, something as simple as that is ridiculous to me. Where in Splinterlands, they'll give you that cooldown, so if a card has been used or has been transferred, it's on cooldown, you can't use it. So it's not the scholar's fault, or it's no one else's fault. The game's just put these rules in place. So there's anti-botting mechanics, but you don't punish the players, and the scholars don't get punished for something that isn't actually their fault, which I like. So what you can do is you can build an account, and then delegate it to a scholar, and then only have to log in once every 2 weeks at the end of a season, and then split the rewards. So however you split the rewards, that's just how it will be done. With minimal, so that's minimal effort. You basically log in once a week. If you have a higher level account or a more perfect account, and your scholar is going to be entering tournaments, as the manager, you will have to log in to enter your scholar into the tournaments, because this technically counts as a transaction, and giving them a posting key means that they can't enter the tournaments themselves. But that's okay. So that's only for like the top level decks. If you're gonna just give your scholars less perfect decks, but then give them enough power to get into more competitive leagues, then that's a different mechanic, and you can do it basically once every 14 days. The third version is if you don't want a scholar, or you don't want to deal with the human element, such as the scholar has work, or they just don't tell you and they don't play, and you don't want to check up on them, because truth be told, I've had an Axie scholar, for example, that I gave them the account for 14 days, and they just didn't play the whole account. So I'm not the type of person to monitor and like my scholars. So after 14 days, I just realized, oh, you guys haven't been playing. That's not very nice, but it is what it is. So if you don't trust that human element, it's not something that I'm very familiar with because I've never done it, but I know that there are bot accounts, and botting is a huge thing in Splinterlands. So you could build your account for botting and then just rent out or create your own botting service. So you build your account, you share your posting key, and then once again, you'll just log in to collect the rewards, and then you let the bot play the account. It won't have as high a win rate as a scholar, but you'll be able to keep all the rewards. So you basically just, you don't care about earning that DEC because your bot most of the time will lose. You just care that it does enough to earn a daily chest, and then you fight for, you basically play to earn the different rewards, and then at the end of the season, you reveal your rewards, and then hopefully you get some gold foil legendaries, or some packs would be huge, and then you sell that for the profit. So that's option number 3. Option number 4 is to become a renter. So as I said, if you don't have the cards to create a scholar deck, or you don't want to manage humans, and you don't want to join a bot farm, or you don't want to be a part of that type of thing, which I don't think you should be. Let's say you just want to rent your cards out. So there's 2 types of renters. So what you'll do is, there's one that's just a normal renter, which is somebody like me, who simply would just select their cards, rent them all out very cheaply, probably will earn a very low ROI. So my ROI would be about 10 to 15% at the moment, because the rental market's bad due to the increase of new cards. And I think at the moment you'll see that this card's like, no, that's the buy. This card is, in terms of price, like 6 DC, which is like 0.0, I think it's 0.032, which is like 1/100th or whatever a day. But basically, if you don't want to do this, the way the rental market works is that at the start of season, cards are at their cheapest. So roughly, actually right about now, the first 5 days of the new season, rent is very, very cheap. Then let's just say it plateaus for the next 5 days, and then the last 3 to 4 days, rent shoots up to the moon, because that's when everyone's trying to secure the power so that they can claim the seasonal reward chest at the end. So people will fight for the power, and rent shoots up to to crazy prices. Like I've had rent being paid at like 1,000%. I think 300% at one stage was very, very normal. I'm not too sure what it is now, because to be honest, I'm what I would call a normal renter. I just rent out all of my cards and then I just leave it that way. I don't care who, because yeah, I also have this feeling, so I don't recommend you do it, and I don't do it, and I can prove that I don't do it. But bottom line is, if you want to optimize your rentals, what you should do is rent them out, and then the last 4 days of season, you should cancel and then re-rent them to get that higher ROI, because technically what you'd be doing is you'd earn a much higher ROI in the last 3 days, and at some point it was more profitable to just cancel your renting. Like if you rent on the last day of season, you could technically earn the other 14 days back in a single day, because it was just that silly because everyone was fighting for power at the end of it. And I didn't like that, so that's why I offered long-term rentals to people, just to make sure that they didn't get the rug pulled under them as they were fighting for the end of season rewards. But if you are trying to rent in this game and that is how you want to make your money, I think you have to do it. I just think it's part of the game, it's just part of the mechanism, and it's how you get a higher ROI back. But it means it's going to be less passive. It means that there is going to be some more manual work. The best way to do it would be that you check every day, so that way anyone that's cancelled your renters, you re-rent. There's some super easy ways to make it way more efficient. You can just drop it down into peak monsters and then it becomes a breeze, but that's another story. Or you can go look at the previous video where I cover peak monsters. It makes it quite easy. And then the last option is packs. So right now, as you can see, is a whole bunch of packs are being sold. Well, not a whole bunch, but basically some packs have been sold. I've only bought 7, but hopefully I can buy some more. But as packs release, what happens is if you were to go onto your energy profile, you can see that packs give you some airdrop points, and I think at the moment it is exactly 300 points per pack. And let's just say you were an investor and you were holding 1,000, suddenly you're holding 300,000 power, and that goes a long way. So just by holding packs, you will generate SPS. So don't open your packs, hold your packs, generate your SPS, earn that SPS, then go back to option number 1, invest into. So you invest your SPS, you earn some APR on the SPS, and therefore you earn more vouchers, which then earn you more packs. So that vicious cycle pays for itself, basically. Once you get big enough, it will pay for itself, or at least will pay for at least a large proportion of that cycle. And that's just something I wish I had done in Untamed, but there was no SPS and airdrop points back then. I couldn't have known. But basically, for Chaos Legion, I recommend you buy some packs. If you can get them at $4 a piece, hold them at $4 a piece. Once they're all sold out, people will then want them at a higher price. Or even if they don't, even if they maintain their value, they will earn you passive income in SPS, and then you can sell them at the exact $4 at a later stage, or hopefully at a higher price once Chaos Legion sells out. So those are rough, I hope this helps you guys. That's 5 different ways to earn passive income in Splinterlands. So you don't have to play this game. Obviously I recommend you do play this game, but if you're an NFT investor that just wants to drop some cash into one of the biggest NFT games in the world right now, these are the ways to do it. Cheers. So please like and subscribe and let me know in the comments what you want me to do next. And if you're a new player, please use the promo code and I'll happily send you the $0.5 back to you. It just lets me know that people are watching and using the promo, and I'm helping new players join the community. Also, if you find me on the Discord, just pop me a message. I'll happily delegate any of the new players some power.